En el tema que ahora vamos a tratar, sobre la visita al Museo WYATT, donde veréis cosas que hemos ido mostrando en anteriores conferencias, veréis que realmente hay cosas que son muy interesantes, que llaman mucho la atención, porque algunas de las que habíamos mostrado las vamos a ver y veremos cómo nuestro colaborador las tuvo en sus propias manos. Eso vale la pena. Pero antes os he dicho de que hablaríamos sobre unos escritos de Ellen White que aparecen en este libro, La historia de la redención. Es un capítulo, que es el 24. Os aconsejo que si alguien tiene este libro lo lea en sus casas, especialmente este capítulo, porque va relacionado con el arca. Nosotros, por falta de tiempo hoy, no lo vamos a tratar, pero una vez más nos confirmaba cómo Ron Wyatt no estaba mintiendo. Pero esto lo dejaremos para la próxima conferencia. Ahora, sencillamente, quiero dirigiros unas palabras que aparecen en nuestras Biblias, que están en el libro de Lucas, capítulo 19, y versículos 39 y 40. Entonces, algunos de los fariseos de entre la multitud le dijeron: Maestro, reprende a tus discípulos. Él respondiendo les dijo: Os digo que si estos callaran, las piedras clamarían. Esto es muy interesante. Las piedras clamarían. Esto realmente está sucediendo. La propia arqueología habla de las cosas de Dios. El mundo actual pide pruebas, el hombre pide pruebas, y es evidente que nuestra fe necesita un sustento de algo en concreto. Estas pruebas están, y algunas de ellas son las que claman cuando nosotros callamos y no damos el suficiente testimonio que deberíamos decir de estas cosas. Por tanto, lo que hoy vais a ver es precisamente una comprobación de que las palabras de Jesús, que tenían una referencia concreta para su momento, también tienen una extrapolarización para lo que la arqueología sigue haciendo con la verdad bíblica. Vamos ya entonces, definitivamente, a entrar este vídeo, que es realmente interesante.
Bueno, estamos aquí hoy en el Museo de Ron Wyatt en Cornersville, y hemos tenido el privilegio de poder hablar con Richard Rives, que es el director del museo. Vamos a proceder a hacer unas preguntas. Primero le voy a pedir que se presente y nos explique un poco pues el motivo del museo y cuál es su trabajo aquí.
Hello, I'm Richard Reeves. I'm president of Wyatt Archaeological Research, and I worked with Ron Wyatt during the last 10 years of his life. And the things that we talk about are Noah's Ark, Sodom and Gomorrah, the Red Sea crossing, Mount Sinai, and then we talk about Ron's work in Jerusalem on an Ark of the Covenant project. We have a museum here in Cornersville, Tennessee, and basically we present some of the artifacts that Ron found. We have pictures and posters and just talk to people and tell them what we know. We're continuing on with the research. In 2003 we completely re-excavated Ron's site in the area of King Solomon's quarries, and then in 2005 and 2006 we were working in the Garden Tomb area. And Ron had described a crucifixion site there. And basically we found where Ron had been there. We found first century buildings and artifacts dating all the way back to the time of King Solomon. We were not able to confirm all of Ron's findings at that time, so we've been working ever since to continue the research. Just got back from Jerusalem about 3 months ago. We're working in King Solomon's quarries under the old city of Jerusalem. There are a lot of people that believe that temple treasures were taken out underground, and we're in a cave system down there. We found defensive walls with gates, and so we're still working on the project, and hopefully we'll have more information soon.
Ok. Nos ha explicado que trabajó los últimos 10 años de investigación con Ron. Nos ha explicado también que cuál fue su relación con Ron Wyatt durante esos 10 años.
I worked with Ron Wyatt during the last 10 years of his life, most everywhere he went. Started working with Ron in 1989 and 90, and we went over to a site in eastern Turkey that many people believe to be the remains of Noah's Ark. And at that time we did what's known as the mini excavation. We cleaned one side so you can see what appears to be rib timbers. And we did a little more work at that time. We came back home, and then later we got in trouble over there. We were taken hostage, and since then I haven't been able to do the investigations we need to do. We now do three-dimensional subsurface radar. I was over in Turkey a few years ago. We thought we had the permits, and then the government changed. But basically what we found over there is a boat-shaped object, the exact dimensions as specified in the Bible for Noah's Ark. There's symmetry there. There's parts and pieces you can measure between. It appears to have been put together with metal fittings. They have modern-day alloys in it. And so
you were there then. You were there when they found the ark. No, okay. You were there measuring or in the moment.
I was not there when Ron first found it. But in 1989, I started working with Ron, and that's when we did the mini excavation and that work. So you know, we need to do more work, but we hadn't been able to get the permits. But it seems like that it is not a natural object; it's something man-made.
Ustedes recogieron muestras de estas excavaciones. Ustedes tienen muestras de esa madera petrificada.
We did. We have some samples. There's some of them in this case down here. And before you leave, I'll get a piece and you can do a little close-up on it, and I can actually let you hold a piece of it.
Okay. Nos dice que aquí tiene algunas muestras y que luego nos va a enseñar unas muestras más cerca para que podamos disfrutar de ella.
I'll let you get a close-up on our actual piece.
Okay. Otra pregunta que nos gustaría hacerle a Richard es sobre un vídeo que vimos en internet, un vídeo en el que nos explicaba que habían encontrado muestras de sangre de Jesucristo, que las llevaron a analizar, y esta es por aquí era nuestra pregunta ahora. Richard, yourself.
Okay, all right.
Well.
Ron took two samples of what he believed to be blood from the site. One he took from the lower level, and he said that was analyzed in Israel, and it proved to have a unique chromosome structure. Ron never got any reports on that. There's no written reports. Ron said there was no scientist that I could contact or no laboratory that could confirm that. So at this time, there is no evidence for what Ron said. It makes perfect sense, but we don't have any evidence, and there never has been any. There are a lot of websites out there and YouTube segments leading people to believe that there is, but it's just not true. There is no evidence of that. That is what Ron said. Now, the sample that was taken from up top that most people see on his videos, I was able to re-excavate that entire area from 2005 through 2007. We have a new DVD called Exploring the Ark of the Covenant. And Ron on the original video said that those samples needed to be tested to see if it was blood. And so once I took more of that sample, brought it back home, we did extensive testing, and it turned out that was not blood. So the sample that you see Ron taking on the original video is not blood. It's a substance called chitin. It's found in the exoskeletal remains of invertebrates and certain types of bacteria, but we could not confirm that was blood. What Ron said makes perfect sense, but we cannot confirm that at this time. We're still working.
Okay, if I understand well, because it's hard for me in English, there was two samples, okay, but there is no proof, there's not confirmed that these samples are blood.
The sample from up above, from near where he described as a crucifixion site, is not blood.
From the crucifixion side.
Is
Okay,
not
from the top of the mountain of the.
No, right there is what he's described as a cross hole. That sample that you see him taking on the video, it turned out that it was not blood.
But the blood he took inside the
blood that he said he took down below, he said that it had a unique chromosome structure, but he never got any reports on it. There's no documentation.
Okay. We only know then about the word of Ron.
That's right.
Okay. In the video we see in internet, we can see some people making, catching it seems a red dust. Okay, put in a vessel or maybe with some water maybe, and you do the report.
Okay. I understand.
Where did you do this analysis?
Okay, I have a special microscope. We'll see tiny little particles less than 1/10 of a micron in size. And what we did, we rehydrated the material that Ron took from the sample up above, and when we put it under from the sample up above. And when we put it under the microscope, we saw microscopic particles that some people describe as somatids. They're found in organic material.
Okay.
And because we found those particles, and it was assumed that that was blood, then we said, well, it does look like blood. But later, I completely re-excavated that area. It's found on our DVD, Exploring the Ark of the Covenant, all the lab tests. We did every type of analysis we could think of. We did blood tests, we did chemical analysis, we did DNA, and everything we could do. And it turns out that that wasn't organic material, but it was not blood. All organic material had these little particles in it, so that was misleading. The indication was that that was blood. We saw the particles, so we made an assumption that was not right. We shouldn't have done that.
Okay, see, alive material,
right? Organic.
Materia orgánica viva, pero que no era sangre. Yo me gustaría preguntar si saben qué tipo de organismo era.
Chitin, C-H-I-T-I-N. It's organic material that's found in the exoskeletal remains of invertebrates.
En el esqueleto de los invertebrados. Dice que encontramos quitina, maybe.
Well,
maybe quitina. Maybe, okay.
Here's what I'm going to do.
Okay, chitin, they'll say quitina. Okay, in this video we can see.
This is our video. It's called Exploring the Ark of the Covenant.
In this video we could see.
It shows all the lab tests in detail.
Okay, I will take.
I'll give you this.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Okay, then. Vamos a preguntarle también a Richard. Your time is well. You must go or okay?
No, we're okay.
Okay. Vamos a preguntar a Richard también sobre su trabajo sobre el sol, la adoración al sol en el tiempo, bueno, en la adoración pagana del sol y cómo está influyendo en los cristianos hoy en día, porque sabemos que él está estudiando estos temas. Richard, we saw in your web that you were studying about the role of sun. And the sky and the stars. Okay. The interpretation of this in the worship of pagan cultures, and how this adoration, this worship, is influyendo.
I think I know.
Influyendo.
One second. Okay, about 20 years ago I found out that many of the things that I'd been taught in church were based on tradition rather than what the scriptures actually teach. And I found that everything opposed to the true worship of our Creator has been based on sun worship. Mm-hmm. And so I wrote a little book entitled Too Long in the Sun.
Okay.
I'd like to give you this one.
Thank you.
And then, just 2 years ago, my new book is called Time is the Ally of Deceit. Over time, traditions that have nothing to do with Jesus have crept into Christianity.
Okay.
And so I've done a lot of research, archaeological research, as well as other things.